Over the past 2 days, we have learned how detrimental trans fat can be for our human body and how labeling of trans fat is a current issue here in Taiwan. In today's report, we see how the general public has become more aware of the food they eat, how some food makers in Taiwan have voluntarily restricted their use of trans fat, as well as ways to opt for a healthier diet. First, a plate of cookies is made using vegetable oil that has trans fat in it. Next, another batch of cookies is made, which uses natural cooking oil with no trans fat. In the end, what is the difference?
The cookies baked with hydrogenated oil are darker in color and not as oily. The ones baked with natural cooking oil are lighter in color and seem oily on the outside. They also taste different.
To test the difference in flavor, we have 10 students here to try out the cookies. If you think this is delicious, please raise your hands. Raise your hand if you think this is more delicious.
Over half of the students find the cookies made with trans fat more delicious. As trans fat adds a crispy and crunchy taste to food, most of the man-made butter on the market now includes trans fats.
This is natural butter. This is hydrogenated oil, which has trans fatty acids, and it is white in color. To make it look more like natural butter, food makers add coloring and turn it into this.
Trans fat is heat resistant and is widely used in packaged or fried food. Nonetheless, it increases the risk of cardiovascular disease. Beginning this year, the United States has announced a ban on all man-made trans fats. Though similar regulations are not found here in Taiwan, conscientious food makers have long stopped using any ingredients with trans fats.
Beginning some 7 to 8 years ago, in cooperation with the Health Bureau, we started prohibiting the use of trans fat. The anhydrous butter used in our bakery industry comes from ruminants such as cattle and sheep. Through their digestive system, trans fat is naturally produced, but these are not harmful to our body.
Natural trans fat has a different molecular structure than that of those man-made and is not detrimental to the human body. However, man-made trans fat is said to have less health benefits than natural animal oil. In recent years, as the general public has become more aware of the health risks posed by trans fat, food makers have excluded them on labeling, but increased the amount of saturated fat usage.
Hydrogenated fat is a type of saturated fatty acid, and after blending it with animal fat, these saturated fatty acids will easily increase the risk of cardiovascular disease.
As members of the public seek out food to satisfy their taste buds, food makers will go the extra mile to create processed but tasty food for shoppers.
We may need to change our eating habits and look for products that are made with natural ingredients. With food that is too crunchy and crispy, you may need to consider you are eating trans fat from hydrogenated oil.
For those wishing to pursue a healthier lifestyle, it is recommended to refrain from eating fried food and desserts to avoid absorbing trans fat and opt for vegetables and fruit instead.